I made a video on Hopeless Peaches back in December, so about 2 months ago now, after Peaches had made her initial response, which in my opinion wasn't entirely the best, and it wasn't convincing to me. It was a lot of her shifting the blame or blaming it on her mental illnesses, which really didn't sit well with me at the time. A lot of people in the past couple of days have come to me either bragging that I was wrong or asking where my response is to her most recent apology video, and my answer is that this is a sensitive topic. It needs to be handled with nuance, and I need to make a concise apology. I'm not going to make a half-assed weak apology. This stuff takes time, and I respect Peaches a lot for her statements and the things that she said. So, with that being said, there are a few things in her recent story that did bother me. It's not perfect. She didn't talk about some things that I feel she could have, but in all, it was a good video. I'm not going to talk about it, though. In fact, actually, this is going to be a response to my own video in which I spread misinformation and I made some mistakes that I need to rectify. So, yeah. In my Hopeless Peaches is Hopeless video, I fucked up big time. So we're going to comb through my video bit by bit and talk about it and make some apologies to Peaches, because in that video I did spread misinformation. I want to be clear that I have publicly and privately apologized to Peaches, both on her YouTube comment section in that video and in Twitter DMs. The one on Twitter is a much better apology because to me, public YouTube comment apologies bug me and feel more like, look at me, I'm doing the right thing, than actually apologizing. I wanted to make this video specifically not only to apologize to her again, but just to, a lot of my followers came from that video, and I feel like it's my duty to fix that. So let's get started. In the intro, I said that I found the topic interesting, but I don't particularly elaborate as to why I found it interesting, which I feel are things that I should disclose for full transparency. The first reason that I was actually subscribed to Peaches at the time. I found her through her storytime videos, so when I'd seen the situation unfolding, I was honestly appalled. I really enjoyed her content, and it was just really heartbreaking to me. I'm sorry. The second thing was that I know and have had many conversations with a couple of people involved in the drama, so they were telling me things firsthand, some things that Peaches didn't discuss in her video and I won't be discussing here, that really, really made me dislike her. So this video was partially made while I was hurt and partially while I was biased. The next part of the video, I talk about Camila Cuevas. Since Peaches' video came out, there's a lot more on Camila that wasn't discussed or disclosed by her to commentary channels about her behavior before or after Peaches made the Amina post. Camila led a lot of us to believe that they were actually friends, despite them only communicating a handful of times, and the behavior made by Camila and her staff after the post had gone up was abhorrent and awful. I still stand by the fact that Peaches shouldn't have made that Amino post since it was full of blatant lies. Peaches even acknowledges it herself that the post of hers was a bad idea and that she shouldn't have done it. I also do an analogy of small creators playing the large creators are bullying me card, which is used a lot, and I was under the impression that this was true. However, Peaches has since stated that at the time she barely had a channel, so it's understandable if she felt panic that she wasn't going to be properly compensated for her work. So that part of my video, while not technically wrong or misleading, wasn't entirely accurate to Peaches' situation particularly. Some channels do play the larger channel victim bullshit, but Peaches, I don't believe, was doing that. Next is the Omnia and Kai part of the video. In this part, I talk about how Peaches is constantly flipping back and forth between supporting and not supporting Kai and Omnia, while making it continuously confusing to who she supports in the situation. Peaches really doesn't talk much about this in her response video, which is something I feel she should have done more. She mentioned it briefly as showing support for Nani and her video, though she really doesn't talk about how often she changed sides depending on what creator she was speaking to. She also didn't talk about her claiming that she was Omnia and Kai's friend, or her speaking on their behalf, which is something that affected both Kai and Omnia personally. My criticism for Peaches still stands in this part. She fucked up here, though she has since apologized for it, which is good, but I can't tell you if that apology was good or not. Only Omnia and Kai can. But I am glad that she did. That being said, though, my idea for why she was doing it, that being that she's doing it to appeal to other content creators to grow her platform, I feel completely missed the mark with, and I don't think that anymore. I have no idea why she continued to switch sides like she did, but I don't think she was doing it to appeal to anyone or to grow her platform. Next is the How Peaches Handles Disagreements part of the video. In this part of the video, I talk about Peaches and how she handles situations or disagreements or critiques from friends. I agree that my statement that she handles disagreements poorly is true. She does not handle them well, though Peaches has made it abundantly clear that she has poor mental health, and that's probably not her monitoring herself in situations of stress. My advice still stands, that being, if you're having a disagreement with someone, take a deep breath, take a step away from the computer. If you have a fragile mental state, it's never good to turn to friends or Twitter to vent your frustration. It makes it impossible to handle situations like an adult when you do that. Peaches has since stated that she is getting help, and I couldn't be more proud of her for doing that. Getting help that you need is really just a hard first step, and it's a great step to take. I think it'll help how she manages communicating with people further in the future. Also, suffice to say, I don't think she's doing the vent posts to get sympathy points. I think it's her not knowing when to stop posting. A fault, but it's an easily fixable one that she's already working on. And now we get to the elephant in the room, the suicide baiting part of the video. There are two definitions of suicide baiting: the literal definition, which is baiting someone to try to commit suicide, and the more commonly used definition of suicide, someone claiming they're going to commit suicide without any actual intent or for a way to get something from someone. I'm sure you've all heard the toxic statement of, "If you leave me, I'm going to kill myself." That's a common phrase used by suicide baiters, and that's the definition that I assumed Peaches was using. Peaches is not and never was a suicide baiter. I made this claim in my video, and I am absolutely disgusted and appalled to ever think that it was an okay thing for me to say or speculate on. Peaches was someone with a severe mental lapse who desperately needed help, not someone trying to say she was going to off herself to get pity points. Never ever wanted to hurt anyone with my videos. The point of my drama videos is to provide critique and my opinion on the situation. They're never meant out of malice, and so the fact that I helped spread the false idea was absolutely disgusting of me. I am sincerely sorry to Peaches for ever saying that, and I will never stop apologizing for it. It was disgusting to me, and I never should have said that. Peaches was careless with her platform as far as venting goes. As of now, Peaches has made a vent account where she posts her vent stuff, and I'm glad that she did so. This goes to show that Peaches is genuinely trying to change and fix her mistakes, which at the end of the day is all I ever wanted to see from her. The next part of the video is titled Hopeless Peaches, more like Hopeless Apologies, and talks about how Peaches' apologies had a history of pointing the finger at something else or deflecting, which is true for her previous apologies. Her most recent apology, though, was well made and explained a lot of things really well. It was concise and thorough, and that's all I could have ever asked for. My critique of her not knowing how to admit when she's wrong is no longer a standing point. Peaches admitted she'd done some wrong things, and it's amazing. I'm proud of her. I made a statement that I think Peaches doesn't intend on changing, which now is clearly wrong. Peaches is making some efforts to fix her previous behavior with, I believe, her mentioning therapy and making a vent channel. It clearly shows that she is trying to change, and we need to give her room to do so. People don't change in a day. It takes weeks, months, and even just years for someone to get better. We need to give her the room to do so. If we keep squashing these videos down on her and we keep belittling her, she's not going to have the room to grow that she needs. The last segment of my video is titled Mental Health is Not a Defense, and it talks about Peach's bad apologies and her deflection using her mental health. This segment was true at the time. Intentionally or unintentionally, she used mental health as a deflection, and while I don't think she was doing it on purpose, she was doing it. Mental health is a serious topic that needs to be handled with care. In Peach's most recent videos, she talked little to none about her mental health, aside from where it was directly being talked about or near the end of the video. She's grown as a person a lot, and that's clear. The last is final thoughts, which I don't really need to talk about, so I'm going to talk about the situation as a whole, as well as make my complete apology to Peaches. This situation was a hot mess that bled over from the Toby drama, which was also a hot mess. There were a lot of narratives being spun from different people about what they thought was going on, and nobody was letting anyone breathe. Sometimes things just need to breathe, and I was a part of that dogpiling. It's not a good way to handle a topic, especially one as sensitive as mental health, which in large was what the Peaches situation was about. There was a lot of hurt people who were not handling things as correctly as they should have, and that includes me. Peaches, I know that I already apologized to you on Twitter, but I'm gonna say it again. I was wrong in my video. I spread hurtful misinformation that helped add to the garbage, and I'm so sorry what you went through and what I helped put you through. It was never my intention to hurt you, though I feel like it might have if you'd seen the video. Even if you hadn't, though, it was still spread to a lot of people who could have made their own videos using my thoughts or told other people, and it was careless of me to do on my platform. I take full and entire blame for my video, and I am eternally sorry for the stuff I said and adding to your worsening mental state. I'm glad that you're getting help, and I'm glad that you pulled through okay. It goes to show how strong you are. I look forward to seeing you grow as a person and as a fellow content creator. Peaches, if you need someone to talk to, just to vent to or have conversations with, I'm here. You know my Twitter. You can DM me if you want. Despite how aggressive my video may have seemed, I don't hold any ill will of you. I'm just sorry, and I want to make it up to you if I can. For the people that watched my video and came out with false information, I'm sorry. I'm continuing to try to make improvements on my videos, and while I'm not a drama channel, when I do make videos on topics, I promise to handle them with more nuance in the future. More research will be done, and I will be trying to hear out people from both sides more. So with that, I'm going to end the video. Usually I'd plug myself here, but in this case, please go support Peaches and her growth. Subscribe to her, give her a follow on Twitter, listen to her. She may have made mistakes, but at the end of the day, everyone makes mistakes, and it's the improvement that matters. I hope everyone has a good rest of the day, and remember to drink your meds and take your water.